Happy Thursday. Welcome to the Prime Real Estate Network podcast. I'm your host, Rick Davis. I urge you to follow me on social media at Prime Real Estate Rick. You can follow me on Facebook and Instagram at Prime Real Estate Rick. And if you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in residential or commercial real estate anywhere in the great state of Texas, but especially here in our lovely city of Houston, please visit our website at brooksanddavis.com. As always, my co-host sitting here with me, man, is not only a Texas real estate broker, but he is a multi-time author, serial entrepreneur, and the proud proprietor of Pure Hustle clothing brand. As always, I'd like to introduce to our audience the Texas real estate king, Mr. LarryWBrooks. What's going on?
Hey, what can I say, man? That's a fire introduction, man.
Hey, man, you out here looking like the fireman. Fireman.
The red PH is popping today, though.
Hey, man, look, I'm telling you, it's got to be going online, man, because every time you wear the red brim, that's the one thing we always get hit about. As long as you don't wear my black on black Pure Hustle hat on here no more. Yeah, I mean, because I need that to be just the one I got, the one you got.
The exclusive, huh?
No, come on, stop playing. That thing live is fine. My goodness gracious.
It's crazy, man, because, today we're having amazing weather here in Houston.
Right.
We're at 70 degrees. The sun is out, man. So it was just smooth riding into town. But
right.
But those of you that are joining us today, by all means, make sure that you get a chance to go to the YouTube page, follow, subscribe, hit the, leave a comment or something like that. If you think you know someone that can be an amazing guest, that we can bring them onto the platform so that they can be exposed to more people, we'd love that opportunity as well. So I'm excited, Rick, man. We got a friend of mine that's on today. And
right.
Yeah. Do that introduction so we can bring him on so he can drop some nuggets for the people.
Hey,
today.
Look, man.
Gems.
No reason to even waste any time, man. We're going to get straight to it. Today's guest is not only a #1 best-selling author, but he is a public relations entrepreneur and the founder of BrEpic Communications, live from his personal home via Zoom.
We in his house today.
Wait, look,
Rick.
we in his personal residence, man. I want to introduce to the Prime Real Estate Network audience our good friend, Mr. Justin Breen. How you doing, sir?
Oh, beautiful. Yeah, so I've done well over 100 interviews since my book came out, and this is by far the most excited I've ever been before an interview because, I'm all pure hustle.
You are
literally hustle, wearing the pure hustle. I'm in the tracksuit.
Come on.
Yeah.
Hey, man, thank you so much for sitting here with us.
Stand up, man. I've been like, here, I got the pants on. Everybody, can you see
you got the full tracksuit on.
Hey, I try to tell him, man, it looks good on you, man. Like, you got to rock it. It fits you the right way and everything. We always appreciate your support, my friend. No doubt about it.
Okay, see, I'm all about it because, I resonate.
Yeah.
I just feel it, man. First time I talked to you, I'm like, oh, man, I got to talk more. I got to talk more to you guys because it's like, most people, they're just kind of floating around or whatever. Then there's people with the real hustle.
Yeah.
They'll do what it takes. And I'm just pure hustle.
Yeah.
Pure hustle.
No doubt, my friend.
Love
no
it.
doubt.
Love the message. Love it.
No, Justin, I want to thank you so much for sitting in with us this week, man, because studying your background, your company, one of the things I was most impressed with are the diversified hats that you wear and the different styles of companies that you manage and have founded. So just to start off with what everybody is maybe most familiar with you for is, could you talk about founding BrEpic Communications? What was your motivation and what inequity did you see in the marketplace that you felt like you could found a company to fix?
Yeah, so like I said, I was more excited about this interview and I've done some really good interviews, but this is the one I've been most excited about. So your question right there just validated my excitement. So pure hustle, right?
Right.
And I'm going to keep saying pure hustle. So February 10th, 2017, I was a journalist full-time. I had a 5-minute meeting with my company's managing editor and owner, and they cut my salary in half, not due to anything I had done, but it's what happens in journalism. So tried to find a full-time job, couldn't find a job, incorporated my company BrEpic on April 16th, 2017, so 4-year anniversary. And so over the next 6 weeks, I reached out to 5,000 people to get my first 5 clients. So 1 out of 1,000 people said yes. 999 no's forever, right. Okay, so that's the ultimate pure hustle.
Yes.
Got 5th client on, I think it was June 1st, I got the 5th client. June 2nd, I resigned from my full-time job. Again, I was working full-time, half salary, while reaching out to 5,000 people. And then June 5th, Robert Feeder, he's the top media columnist in the Midwest, did a story. I started my own firm. So that was just to get the company started.
Yeah.
And so that answers one part of your question. But the thing in the marketplace was the really interesting thing that you asked as well, is that, so I'm 100% simplifier. I just hear blah, 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 and immediately simplify it. Right. So the formula to building a successful global company is very simple, is you see a problem, you create solution to problem solve, successful global company. So you see a problem, create solution, problem solve, successful global company. So I was a journalist for 20 years. And created my entire business model based on how PR firms annoyed me for 20 years. So saw a problem, created a solution, problem solved, successful global company. And since it just solves the problem, it works for any business size, any location, any vertical. That doesn't matter. My company just solves the problem. So it's a lot of fun.
You know, one of the things about your company that I think the entrepreneurs, business professionals, real estate pros that watch our podcast will benefit from is how you assist entrepreneurs in scaling their online presence as far as working in social media, how to get the most bang for their buck. Because I know one of the challenges that Larry and I hear from a lot of entrepreneurs and professionals is that I'm online, I've had some reasonable success, but I don't know how to scale that success and scale those clients so that I can get bigger, better, more affluent clients so that I can actually scale my business for and predict future outcomes and future earnings.
Great. Yes. This is the greatest conversation ever. I'm so excited about this. So all I hear over and over again, I'm a simplifier, blah, 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 simplifier.
Yeah.
So all I hear over and over is we're tired of being the best secret and we want to be in news and media at a high level to create validity and credibility for everyone. So that's all my company does. It just solves that problem. It just solves that problem. And then from a firsthand perspective, what you just said was, I completely resonated with that because, I've almost 50,000 followers on social media now. And so those followers are two types of people only, because I'm a simplifier and I'm very direct. So it just eliminates nonsense and attracts greatness. So the two types of followers that I have are the highest performing entrepreneurs on the planet or journalists. That's it.
Wow.
And so then my network just keeps, while it actually happens. WOW is meaningless unless it actually happens. So I only partner with people that make it happen. They have the hustle. WOW is a completely meaningless phrase to me unless it actually happens. So like I'm in all these entrepreneurial groups. They're all 5-figure investments, good investments. Because when you're in a room with people that make big investments, there's big outcomes.
That's right.
Big investment, big, right. So it just eliminates 99% of how most of the world thinks. And so I'm just so direct, it just eliminates nonsense and attracts greatness. Yep. And then those people, it just keeps exponentially growing every day. That's it.
And I want to ask this question to Larry, Justin, because he knows you and he's known you for a while. Larry, what is it about Justin's direct approach that you truly appreciate? Boiling down all the minutia, getting through all the fluff and getting down to the brass tacks.
Amazingly, I think it's exactly what he said. When people are talking and they're talking about the complications of their business, all he hears is blah, 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 blah. And then he's already calculating the solution to understanding what that looks like. So that's amazing. That's a skill set within itself. So I think that's the biggest thing that stands out to me, Justin.
Yeah. And
yes, go ahead.
No, because sometimes when you're talking about your own children, and I look at corporations and everyone's practice as their baby. Yep. Sometimes you can get so detailed that you can't see the forest for the trees. Yep. So I think what you do, Justin, is you help to help people to actually deal in what's going on, realistic expectations, and not chase pie in the sky. Yeah. Because as entrepreneurs, we all are self-starters and we all have goals. But until it's kind of like you're pointed in the right direction, you could be just shooting buckshot. Yeah. And it could just go everywhere, and it's not necessarily something that's specifically trained and zoned in on success. So I want to thank you so much for what it is that you do. So could you talk a little bit about your authorship and your books and your writing background? Because I think one of the things, and you mentioned how many followers you have on social media, the most inspirational part about what you do is that you're not of a singular mind. Is that people can see what you do in social media, and then they can see how that translates into your authorship and how you actually produce educational materials for everyone. So talk a little bit about your writing and being an author and where that motivation comes from.
Yeah, so, man, what you said there was so good. Jeez. So buckshot, right? So the equivalent to buckshot in PR is spray and pray. You just blast this garbage out to. And so as a journalist, I received hundreds of press releases every single day from people I didn't know. That's buckshot.
Okay.
Buckshot is also abbreviated BS. Buckshot. BS.
Right.
BS. Right. Okay.
Look.
So actually, that's pretty good. That's good simplification. Right
That
there.
is
So,
pretty good, no doubt
Yeah.
about
So
it.
you just deal with BS. Yeah, you're dealing with BS and nonsense all day. So again, I'm just directed and just eliminates that. And so I was born with a story. And so what does that mean, right? So when I was born, and this relates to pure hustle as well, you'll see in a second. So when I was born, my dad was 61 and my mom was 27. So 34-year difference.
Yeah.
While that actually happened. And so my father was a World War II hero. He became an attorney in the Nuremberg trials, wound up becoming a president of an insurance company. He came from nothing. And so he kept a diary of his experiences fighting in the Battle of the Hurtgen Forest toward the end of World War II. That was a very bloody battle. I still don't know how he kept that diary. It's one of the best things I've ever written. I'm a really good writer. This diary's way better than anything I've ever written. And so he died when I was 13. I found the diary after he died. Yeah, it's my most cherished possession besides my wife and children. And so I write exactly like he does. Boom, 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 boom. It's a really fascinating connection that we have, even though he's no longer here. So that's my dad. Yeah. And then my mom's 27 when I was born. So how did that happen? And so my father in his late 50s was driving on a highway, and a drunk driver swerved across the road and hit him head on, and the drunk driver was killed instantly. And my dad was shot down 9 times in combat, so he was shot down 9 times. He survived it, and so he was hit by a drunk driver. You break every bone in your body, but you survive it. You just survive. Wow. So, and then while that actually happened, right? So my mom was his nurse. So my mom literally nursed him back to health. And so most of my days talking to the world's top entrepreneurs, the very top, or the people that'll do what it takes. I've never met anyone in my life with more hustle than my mom, ever. Yeah. Never, ever. The hustle that we have, and I'm guessing you guys are off the chart hustle, literally. My mom, it's incredible. I've never met anyone the biggest survive and thrive ever. Wow. And so you combine that endless hustle with war hero, brilliant writer, came from nothing, became president of an insurance company, and here I am. Yeah, I'm just the representation of of them.
No, and what makes your story resonate with so many people is that, and Larry and I go through this a lot, is that as a business person and entrepreneur, when people meet you, Justin, they meet you at that finite moment in time. And some things that tend to be undervalued is the evolutionary process that you've had to go through to get to where you are at the time they meet you.
Oh, my God.
So when we're going to break to hear from our sponsors, but when we come back, Justin, I want to talk to you a little bit about your life before entrepreneurship. And because I'm sure people who've interacted with you from a business perspective may not envision you ever doing anything outside of what you are right now this second. So if you wouldn't mind, I want to get a feel for what motivates you, what inspires you in your life before entrepreneurship. Okay. I want to thank everyone for tuning into the Prime Real Estate Network podcast. We're going to take a short break to hear from our sponsors, but we'll be right back.